What's up, everybody? Dr. Livingood. Welcome in. How would you like to have more all-day energy? Well, I'm going into energy focus, and I got to take you through a little bit of biochemistry here of what's going on in the body, taking you all the way back from my doctor book days. If you want more energy, I'm going to show you the 4 nutrients that are absolutely crucial, and then I'm going to invite you in to our brand new all-day energy blueprint training. Coming really soon. You're going to be able to register for that. I'm going to be doing a live training. All of you can sit through it for free. We are going to create an advanced blueprint, an advanced challenge together. So it's like a mini masterclass that you're going to be able to sit in on, and we'll be launching and releasing several brand new Livingood Daily products. One big dog, brand new flavor coming your way. Ooh, this is Nurse Livingood's. It's her pick. It's the one, let alone a couple others that I'll be referring to today a little bit. So welcome in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Good morning. And I'm going to walk you through how to get all day energy. So we're going to get that started in just a moment. I'm excited for it. That new training is coming up. You can register. You can be the first to get the access to the brand new flavor. You get a spot and a seat in the all new all day energy blueprint training. So much good stuff going on. Plus it comes with a guide, gives you some recipes from the beautiful Nurse Livingood. Yes, so much happening there. So good morning. Welcome in. Let's get it rolling for the week. Energy. We're going into full on energy mode. Get the moms more energy because you exude so much. It's perfect timing. So let's do this, shall we? Diving into it. Excited for the training this morning. I can't wait to share this with you and explain why I wrote all this stuff on the board. It might be gibberish to you, so let's do this. Would you love more all-day energy? To get the crashes in the mid-afternoon? Maybe you're an athlete, you work out a ton and you're just getting depleted, or it takes a lot of caffeine or energy drinks just to get you spiked up and get you going. These 4 nutrients are what power the energy machine inside of your body. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works and introduce you to one that you've maybe never heard of before, NADH. Do you know what it is? I'm about to break it down. How do you get all day energy? Well, in order to get more energy, you got to understand the process of how your body creates energy, and then what nutrients, what raw materials are needed by this machine in order to just pump out ATP. ATP is your energy gasoline, right? That's what makes you go. You produce more ATP than the weight of your body every day. That's how much you need to go. However, knowing that, literally your body weight in ATP every day. And you need a lot of raw material in order to stoke that fire. The problem that happens is age is working against you. Nutrition and toxicity is working against you. And the type of fuel that you put in to start the ATP production machine can potentially also be working against you, which creates a lot of exhaust, right? Like if your car is trying to drive and you're trying to get from point A to point B, if it's older of a vehicle, right? If it has maybe the improper fuel or not as clean a fuel, or you didn't take the 2 levels up at the gas station where it burns more economically and burns at a higher level, then you're getting a lot more exhaust, especially if you have a diesel and you've been fueling it with a lot of sugar, then your body is going to burn, and it creates just a lot of soot and a lot of buildup. And that's a lot of the problems with our energy, is that you're battling so much toxicity. You're battling so much exhaust that the vehicle just can't go the way it's supposed to because it's not burning up fuel and creating it. So what does this mean? How do we understand this process? So I want to introduce you to a couple of friends today. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, NADH. Very important one in this process. This is the process of producing energy in your body. When you eat food, right? Glucose, we'll look at that. You have a couple different mechanisms of producing it. This is the primary one. Your brain runs off of it. Your body and every cell in your body is competing for it. Cancer cells feed off of it, but we need it. It's the primary source of fuel for human beings. So what happens is you eat food, it breaks it down into glucose, right? It takes some energy to break that food down. So energy's going in right away. The more toxic, the more processed the food, the worse your energy is going to be. It takes more to break that down. That's why I like real whole foods as versus processed foods. And then there's not as much of the toxicity that is exhausting from the burning of this energy, okay? Now, it goes through a process of glycolysis. Not going to bore you with that. And that is then goes to the next step of pyruvate is what it's broken down to. And once it gets to that form, pyruvate can be taken into the cell's power plant. You can imagine pyruvate like I remember as a kid, I would drive by the Mississippi River is where my grandparents, one of my favorite places on the planet, lived. And so I'd go down there often, and there would be a lot of coal plants, the power plants. And they would have them there because the barges could carry the coal up and down the river very easily to supply to produce energy. The power plant, right, needed the coal in order to produce the energy. But the power plant itself also needed energy, right, to be powered. So more on that in a little bit of what powers the power plant. But let's focus on the coal first. So the pyruvate is sort of like the coal, right? And it's going to stoke the fires and produce all this energy for your body. ATP is what we're wanting to get to. So taking it into the power plant, your power plant is the mitochondria, all right? I believe a lot of you listening suffer from a level of what I would refer to as mitochondrial dysfunction. And the only reason it's dysfunctioning is because it doesn't have the right amount of the raw materials in order to work. If you don't put enough coal and its counterpoints, components into the coal factory, which we're referring to as the Krebs cycle inside your body, it can't produce energy. So once we get coal in, right, we've broken it down, we've gotten coal, we bring it into the mitochondria in a process called the Krebs cycle. Again, I won't bore you with that whole process. This is stuff I dug into deeply in school, and being a biochemistry minor and then eventually a doctor. What it does is it kicks off a few parts of energy. So in the process of breaking down glucose into the coal, the body produces 2 elements of ATP. That's fantastic. Then we go to the coal and it brings it into the mitochondria. The Krebs cycle of just breaking down the coal to get it ready to be burnt also produces 2 molecules of ATP for energy. But the main thing the Krebs cycle does is it produces electrons. And these electrons are just waiting to be fired up and used to power your system. And it must go through the electron transfer chain. And then that chain right there, this main step that happens in your mitochondria, are going to kick off 32 ATPs every cycle. All day long. All your mitochondria are just pumping. You get a little bit from up here, but it is just pumping out ATP. You produce enough ATP to be the weight of your body each day. Okay, so now you kind of understand the process a little bit. Okay, I want to explain to you why this is so important is because each of these steps requires some raw material in order to function. And if you don't provide your body with those nutrients regularly, they're going to get depleted over time, and this process will just grind through trying to produce all that energy, or you will end up fatigued. You will end up with a sluggish metabolism. You will end up with a poor circadian rhythm, poor sleep cycle, and you will just not feel energetic and being able to do what you want to do, let alone chronic disease that starts to happen when this mitochondrial dysfunction starts to happen. So here's why it breaks down, all right? In the Krebs cycle, this is the thing that's kicking off all the the electrons to kick off 32 ATPs. The Krebs cycle also produces the NADH. Now this is crucial because NADH's job is to get those electrons down here protected, able to be used to produce the ATP. So it carries all of those electrons that are going to turn into the 32 ATP. So it's got a pretty important job. If it doesn't get those raw materials down there, the body can't make up. The electron transport chain doesn't happen. So NADH does that. So you get 2 of them up here when you break down the sugar. You get 8 more when you go through a cycle in the Krebs cycle. All of those 10 are going to make their way down here and they're going to produce the 32 ATP. Okay? So step 1, the more NADH you have, the more it's going to produce ATP. The more NADH that you have, the easier it is to create energy. So for that reason, nutrient number 1 that I think is very important to fixing the brokenness of our energy machines is supplementing with NADH. NAD is its counterpart in an oxidized form. This is a reduced form of it. D, and it's going to have a plus by it, gets converted into this throughout this process. That right there, pharmaceutical companies are battling over, and they are saying that there's been so much research that we've done on this. We want to prevent any supplement company or you as a consumer from being able to take it in the NAD plus form, and they want to turn it into a drug, make it a patent, and make billions off of it. It's crazy. So like Pfizer and a couple big companies are in a battle right now. Amazon and the FDA, Amazon's pulled it. The FDA has considered pulling it as a supplement, kind of like NAC. So it's wild, right? So we just go to its counterpart, no worries, NADH, and that is what's needed to add it. So I started taking this recently to fix overall mitochondrial dysfunction. I had some microscopic blood work done and found that my mitochondria were really grinding, creating a lot of exhaust, right? So making sure eating's clean. But then this is just really grinding to try to kick out the ATP, and then the body starts to get fatigued. Now you might not feel some of this, but your cells are. So how we synthetically make an impact on this is we drink caffeine and energy drinks. And I put a video up next and below of why that's a bad idea, because it increases your stroke risk. It's very hard on your heart. And in fact, just one energy drink could put you in a stroke. And you've probably seen people that have gone into that because it's not providing the raw materials. It's just trying to jolt this into producing more energy. And you can only ride that so hard. So we got to get the right materials. NADH is number one. Okay, that's the key. Now, interesting, number two is that in order for NADH to provide the electrons, it needs a friend. And that friend is CoQ10. CoQ10 is crazy important for those taking a statin drug, because statins drugs shut down the CoQ10 factory, which is literally stripping the mitochondria of energy, which strips your muscles of it. That's why your legs can feel cramped, they can feel sore and hurt, or there's an increased risk of rupturing your Achilles tendon while you're taking a cholesterol lowering drug, because it's shutting down CoQ10. So then the body again is grinding to make those ATP. But CoQ10 protects it because there's a lot of free radicals, vultures trying to float around and damage those electrons, damage these particles. So part of this is keeping a clean diet so there's not so much exhaust going on. CoQ10 though is going to grab these and bring them to them. So in order to produce more ATPs, give your body more of the raw material. NADH and CoQ10, they work together. Now, what else does this system need in a very simple manner to work? The other two most important nutrients in this process, which happens a lot right here, is magnesium. 90% of Americans and those watching around the world are deficient in magnesium. And the reason it's so important in energy is because it allows this process to go. It allows this process to go. It's required for those processes. So we need extra magnesium going into the system. So if you aren't supplementing with it, that was a choice that I made to do for a period of time to top up my magnesium levels. CoQ10 and magnesium are all needed to drive this cycle. And then as every enzymatic activity and every step in our chemistry of our body, what is needed for those enzymes are always B vitamins, and they play so many roles along the way of producing all of these steps. So that's where B12, folate comes in when it comes to energy, because we're often depleted in them. They're water soluble, which means what you eat each day is what you have for the most part, and the rest goes through you. And you need to top them up on a daily basis. So they're oftentimes in my multivitamin or my collagen plus multi, or you're getting them through some incredible foods as well, but they are driving the breakdown of food into energy. That's what B vitamins do. And there's multiple of them. I like to take at least 11 or 12 different B vitamins. Some people didn't even know you had that many, to really top off all the little intricacies. But the important ones are cobalamin, B12, B9, folate, B1 and B2 are helping to break down food into energy. So there's your 4 nutrients to really focus on that more than likely you're deficient in. Okay. We have NADH as a number 1 primary driver of energy. Number 2, in order to allow it to function, if you are lacking in a lot of energy, you need CoQ10. It gets even worse that as you age, your CoQ10 levels go down. You're producing less and less and less of it. So it needs to be supplemented in. Number 3, if you're not already, a magnesium supplement. And then number 4, a B vitamin that is complete in the non-synthetic form that has aids with it to help it absorb better, like prebiotics, because you're not what you eat, you're what you absorb. To get a deeper understanding of that, to know which type of magnesium, to know which B vitamins and in what forms, and to get a deeper dive on your NAD, your CoQ10, how it makes your metabolism sluggish, and the other 6 keys to all-day energy. Check out my training below to break this down even further, to help you to get these in right, and to get the guide to help walk you through how to restore true cellular mitochondrial energy, where the dysfunction actually lies, as opposed to just synthetic of an energy drink or a pick-me-up or a dose of sugar to try to surge it. We truly got to go deep. And that's why I made this whole training. You can get it for free. And that link is below. So click on that for the all-day energy blueprint. I can help you understand those mitochondria and this energy production machine a bit better. You can dive deeper and deeper into it. For a sort of what's next on how to dig a little bit deeper into this, I mentioned energy drinks. If you haven't watched my video on why those are very harmful and could put puts your heart and your stroke risk in a really bad scenario. Check out that video next. I put it right here for you. That video is below. It's in the link as well. And the All Day Energy link is there too. Now, we're going to be doing the All Day Energy training together. So that training will have all of the breakdown of the 7 keys for All Day Energy, including some reviews of this. And then I'll be going deep into NADH, CoQ10, which types of magnesium are the best, and the B vitamins, which we'll be helping you with. I've been in the laboratory creating some of those. All Day Energy. And then a very, very good, excellent supporter that tastes incredible is being released. All of that in your registration below. So click that link. You will get the free All Day Energy training coming up very soon. The details and the times of when that training is taking place live. Your All Day Energy guide, which is going to give you helpful resources, recipes, and the breakdown of what we're going to be covering in the training. You're going to get early bird access to the all new energy supplements and the brand new flavor being released. Early bird access, full all day, 1 day new, and a discount for the spring sales event. So check it all out, and you'll be able to get all of that in the link below. Excited for it. I wanted to start to open your eyes to understanding how energy is actually produced. And I know it's a bit heavy on the biochemistry, but you can take it. And when you start to understand this, like, yeah, I just want more ATP. That's where it's at the end of the day. We're going to need some things along the way in order to make that happen. And there's a lot of lifestyle habits that you do that shut that system down or make it work really hard. That's why you're so fatigued. So if you could use more all day energy, be sure to join the energy training for me and with me. And we'll make a great training together. I can't wait for it. I wanted to come to you a very special kickoff here for the upcoming energy weeks. Getting those moms the energy back, and grandmothers who won't leave dads and men out either. So there it is, peeps. All right, go make it a great day today. You might as well. You're never going to get it back. Check out the links listed below, or if you're catching on a different platform, it'll be in the bio. For the All Day Energy Blueprint and registration, brand new flavor coming out. Don't miss that one. It is by Nurse Livingood, and it is absolutely fantastic. All right, you guys, there it is. I will see you soon.